Salawat. We are starting our exercise. Please come forward for long life, healthy, and activate your parts of all the body so we can concentrate more on lectures. Thank you very much. Please, we are starting now. We start with the breathing, which is very important, and that will keep us moving. Deep breathing. Now the rule is 478. Bring your fingers like this and start breathing. Deep breathing. Take in 4 seconds. Breathe. Breathe. Keep it for 7 seconds. 8 minutes you can breathe out. Yours is also breathing, so we clear it up and help us our nose problem. Just breathe in, breathe in. Take out from the other side and breathe in from the other side. Breathe from one side. One side and put it out on the same side. Please quiet there. Our people are not be able to listen. Thank you. Now, your fingertips move very firmly inside. Firmly inside. One by one, the fingers we close in all the fingers. Now press each finger into there so the blood can circulate. Press each other with the thumb. You can do halfway or side to side. Halfway on the floor. We are coming down now. Some people have got a backache, especially, so the exercise, one of the exercise, is just, you can do it because you have got a backache. Just straight, move the neck to this side, come to the center, move to this side, come to the center, move to this side, come to the center, this side. Now look at the shoulder and go right behind so you can see the movement of your back, the bones. Now you can come to the center, then again on the left hand side. If you have any back pain, especially when we lift high, heavy, then you go again once more. I have 3 minutes.
Jumpa Abbas. Yeah, good time.
Mu'minin, please maintain silence. Now we'll have recitation of the Holy Quran by Maqbul by Jafar, please. Thank you.
محمد وآل محمد صلوات. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. تبارك الذي بيده الملك وهو على كل شيء قدير. الذي خلق الموت والحياة ليبلوكم أيكم أحسن عملا وهو العزيز الغفور. الذي خلق 7 سماوات طباقا ما ترى في خلق الرحمن من تفاوت فارجع البصر هل ترى من فتور ثم ارجع البصر كرتين ينقلب إليك البصر خاسئا وهو حسير. ولقد زينا السماء الدنيا بمصابيح وجعلناها رجوما للشياطين وأعتدنا لهم عذاب السعير. وللذين كفروا بربهم عذاب جهنم وبئس المصير. إذا ألقوا فيها سمعوا لها شهيقا وهي تفور تكاد تميز من الغيظ كلما ألقي فيها فوج سألهم خزنتها ألم يأتكم نذير قالوا بلى قد جاءنا نذير فكذبنا وقلنا ما نزل الله من شيء إن أنتم إلا في ضلال كبير. وقالوا لو كنا نسمع أو نعقل ما كنا في أصحاب السعير. فاعترفوا بذنبهم فسحقا لأصحاب السعير. إن الذين يخشون ربهم بالغيب لهم مغفرة وأجر كبير. وأسروا قولكم أو اجهروا به إنه عليم بذات الصدور. ألا يعلم من خلق وهو اللطيف الخبير. هو الذي جعل لكم الأرض ذلولا فامشوا في مناكبها وكلوا من رزقه وإليه النشور. أأمنتم من في السماء أن يخسف بكم الأرض فإذا هي تمور أم أمنتم من في السماء أن يرسل عليكم حاصبا فستعلمون كيف نذير. ولقد كذب الذين من قبلهم فكيف كان نقير. ولقد كذب الذين من قبلهم فكيف كان نكير. أولم يروا إلى الطير فوقهم صافات ويقبضن ما يمسكهن إلا الرحمن إنه بكل شيء بصير. أمن هذا الذي هو جند لكم ينصركم من دون الرحمن إن الكافرون إلا في غرور. أمن هذا الذي يرزقكم إن أمسك رزقه بل لجوا في عتو ونفور. أفمن يمشي مكبا على وجهه أهدى أمن يمشي سويا على صراط مستقيم. قل هو الذي أنشأكم وجعل لكم السمع والأبصار والأفئدة قليلا ما تشكرون قل هو الذي ذرأكم في الأرض وإليه تحشرون ويقولون متى هذا الوعد إن كنتم صادقين قل إنما العلم عند الله وإنما أنا نذير مبين فلما رأوه زلفة سيئت وجوه الذين كفروا وقيل هذا الذي كنتم به تدعون قل أرأيتم إن أهلكني الله ومن معي أو رحمنا فمن يجير الكافرين من عذاب عليم قل هو الرحمن آمنا به وعليه توكلنا فستعلمون من هو في ضلال مبين قل أرأيتم إن أصبح ماؤكم غورا فمن يأتيكم بماء معين صدق الله العلي العظيم سورة مباركة الفاتحة
Ahsan, jazakallah, makbul bhai. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم والعصر إن الإنسان لفي خسر إلا الذين آمنوا وعملوا الصالحات وتواصوا بالحق وتواصوا بالصبر اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم وفوض أمري إلى الله إن الله بصير بالعباد. I entrust my affairs to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Verily He looks after His servants. Alhamdulillah. Respected elders and my brothers, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu. A very warm welcome to all of you. प्रथम तो हूँ शुरू करूँ छू अल्लाह ना नाम थी जे महान दयारू अने दयार करनार छे भाई एक बनो अने नेक बनो आपनी प्रगति माटे जरूरी छे कि अमे हमारी दुआ छे कि आपने इमाम ज़मान अलैहिस्सलाम वसीला थी हमारी बड़ी हाजतों कबूल करे इंशाअल्लाह. Hadith of the 12th Holy Imam, Imam Mahdi Sahab Zaman, Ajjalallahu Farajhum Sharif alayhi Muhammad. The Imam said, prostrating in thanks after each prayer is one of the best, most essential traditions. Bihar Al-Anwar, volume 53, page 161. Announcements for today, Wednesday, the 19th of February 2025. Please switch your mobiles to a silent mode. Please keep your belongings with you all the time. Please cut waste, cut costs, and save the planet. So please remember to bring your own cutlery every week. If not, there is a levy of £1 for the use of Jamaat cutlery each time. Guests and visitors are exempted. Anyone wishing to sponsor a full or part niyaz for the sawab of marhumeens, please contact any committee member. The cost of full niyaz is £1,200. Today we have a sponsor for lunch niyaz. Please recite Surah Al-Fatiha for their marhumeens and all our marhumeens. Al-Fatiha. Alhamdulillah. A gentle reminder, if you haven't paid your 2025 subscription of £10, please do so now at the desk. Members are requested to keep the center clean at all times, and so please ensure there is no food or garbage left behind and is disposed of sensibly. We are actively looking for new members to join our committee, the Seniors Gents Committee, so I have a humble request to come forward and join us. This will help us to move forward, improve, and make our programs more vibrant with fresh ideas, which will be much appreciated. Today's speaker is our esteemed and learned scholar, Sheikh Abbas Ismail, to continue with the realities of the life hereafter, part 3. And I have great pleasure to welcome him with a beautiful salawat. Allahumma salli ala Muhammad.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah. A'udhu billahi minash shaitanir rajeem. Bismillahir rahmanir rahim. Alhamdulillahi rabbil alameen. Bari'il khalaiqi ajma'een, ba'ithil anbiya'i wal mursaleen. Thumma salatu wassalamu ala ashrafil anbiya'i wal mursaleen. Khatimin nabiyyin Abil Qasim Muhammad. Allahumma salli ala Muhammad. وعلى آله الطيبين الطاهرين لا سيما بقية الله في الأرض مولانا حجة ابن الحسن عجل الله تعالى فرجه الشريف اللهم صل على محمد وعلى محمد. أما بعد, respected elders, brothers and sisters, હું તમને પૂછીશ નહીં કે તમને કેટલું યાદ છે, કારણ કે 2 મહિના થઈ ગયા છે. I won't ask you how much you remember because it's been 2 months since our last discussion. But we basically left off at this point, realities of death, barzakh and hereafter. Our last discussion was at the time of burial. ઘણા બધા પૂછતા હોય છે કે okay, at death time, મોત જ્યારે આવે છે, ruh is taken out of the body. So then why do we take so much care with the body? We have to be very gentle, we have to be very careful. Why, if the ruh is out, then why do we take so much care? So I explained this last time, which is because the ruh generally is now in a state of shock. Going from one alam, world, to another alam. Alam-e-dunya thi, alam-e-barzakh. It's a big shock. So the ruh is in shock. And the ruh will stick to the thing which it most is familiar with. The ruh will stay with that which is most familiar with, which is the body. So wherever the body goes, the ruh goes as well. Because it doesn't know what to do, it's in a state of shock or trauma. That's why when you mishandle the body, which we should never mishandle the body, the ruh feels like a shock. Okay, what are you doing to me? Why do you treat me roughly? Etla mate, we take a lot of care with the body. Then we discussed the burial, some aspects of the burial. And then we said that the burial will be one of the most traumatic things for the soul to witness. Because now it's like you're lifting me, you're putting me in the ground, you're burying me with all this soil, and then you're leaving me. So it's a very traumatic experience. So that will be one of the traumas after death, the burial. Etla mate burial dafan kriya tane, we have to be very, very respectful. We have to be very gentle, respectful, And that's why we do the talqeen. Again, question આવશે કે talqeen શરીર જે છે મરહૂમનું it's બેજાન, એમાં હવે જાન નથી, કોઈ life નથી. Yes, but the soul is around there. That's why we don't have access to the soul, so we do talqeen on the mayyat itself to remind the soul, because it's hearing. Now we come on to our current discussion of today. So I've just brought you up to speed, and now we're going to start our new discussion with salawat, please. Allahumma salli ala Muhammad. Namaz-e wahshat. Wahshat no arth wahshat. What does wahshat mean? Terror, dread. Because he's going through terror and dread. One thing which the marhum will experience is deep sense of isolation and loneliness. Everyone has gone. Everyone has left me. Everyone is walking away. This person will generally not know how long will I be trapped here. What will happen next? What are the darajat of barzakh? What are the darajat of qabr? He doesn't know, because he or she never looked into this or familiarized themselves, right? Generally, we don't like to think about our death. We don't like it because we think, oh my God, it's going to be so terrifying. But that's a false economy, if you know what I mean. It's a false, because if you don't look into death, definitely it will be terrifying. If you don't look into death, it will definitely be terrifying. So this is really, we are fooling ourselves. Anyway, there will be two different experiences. Some people who had strong faith and trust in God, they will become hopeful. They will say, Mara khuda mane koi di mukh se nahi. Why? Why will they say that? No problem. Thank you. Why will they say that? Ke mara khuda mane koi di mukh se nahi. Because life ni andar ola kano a akido hatu. Life ma, dunia ni life ma, dunia ni zindagi ma, ala kano a akido hatu. Ke mara khuda mane koi di mukh se nahi. In other words, khuda upar bharoso hatu. If you don't have bharoso in your life, how will you have it after your death? So if you have tawakkul and trust in God in your life, definitely that quality of trusting God will come with you in the hereafter. If you don't have trust in God, reliance on God, hope in God, then after you die, you also will not have that hope in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So those who have tawakkul, they will find hope. Those who don't have tawakkul, they will feel dread. And they will feel ke maru sutha se hoye, and they will be terrified. Now, as we are living our life in this world, everything we do, and I mean everything, actions, beliefs, even thoughts are being recorded. Every single thing we do is being recorded. Where is it being recorded? Well, this is something, it's, maybe I'll give it the term spiritual memory. Spiritual memory. It's being recorded in your spiritual, it's in your spiritual DNA. So now, this has to be reactivated, because you have to now answer and be accountable for what you did. So this spiritual memory has to be activated. Who is going to activate that? There's a special angel which comes and activates this spiritual memory of a person. This angel's name is Ruman. Ruman the reminder. You can say, Ruman the reminder. He comes and he activates this spiritual memory in a person. So what happens is, when Ruman comes into the grave, the grave expands. because a great angel has entered. And the noor which Ruman brings, the grave becomes dazzlingly bright. He, like all the angels, will have a very handsome appearance, but at the same time he will be very imposing. He'll be very powerful. Again, some will be scared, but others will be hopeful. Why? Well, tame tamari life ni andar, if you had a link with angels and malaika of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, which is one of the best things you can do, Azizani Girami, I will tell you again and again, in your homes, try and make it a place where angels want to come and not where shayateen want to come. Tilawat Quran, tilawat hadith kisa, ziyarat of Aimma alayhi Muslim, Quran ni tilawat, majalis, good things. Any other chane malaika ave, farishta. Okay, ek ghar ni andar music hoy, malaika will not step in that house. Other things happening wrong in the house, malaika don't want to come to that house. It becomes a dark house. Tame hajaro bulb nako, light, electric bulbs, it doesn't matter. That house will be dark. Hadith mache, ke when a household recites Quran, the house glows for the people of the sky. Ahlus sama mate, asman warao mate, it glows. So malaika are attracted to some people and they're not attracted to other people. So the person who had a relationship with the angels, link with the angels, saband with the angels, they will not feel fear because they have already had this kind of spiritual link with angels. But those who don't have, they will feel fear. Now, Ruman begins to speak. Which language will he speak? Language in the hereafter, language in Barzakh does not work the same as language here. Many things are different in Barzakh. One of the things is in Barzakh and hereafter. So when I say Barzakh, I mean after this world, until Qayamat, for example. One of the things is that compared to the world, there will be much more people who are deaf and dumb. Why? Why? Because they were spiritually deaf and dumb. And that spiritual deafness and dumbness will appear in the hereafter. Biji chij. Janwar, animals will be much more in the hereafter than in this world. Why? Because insan will become janwar in the hereafter. Because અહીંયા જાનવર સિફાત હતી ના, અહીંયા હૈવાની સિફાત હતી. તો એ હૈવાની સિફાત જે આ જિંદગીની અંદર અમે ભેગા કર્યા છે નૌઝુ બિલ્લાહ, એ ક્યાં જાહિર થશે? આખિરતમાં. તમે કહેશો કે આટલા બધા જાનવર? Because they have been manifested there. વાલા જાહિર થઈ, જે અંદર હતું એ બારે નીકળી ગયું છે, જે અંદર હતું એ જાહિર થઈ ગયું છે. So, the language is going to be a language which is instinctive. It could be that in one sentence of language of hereafter, you get a whole library of words of the world. One sentence, one paragraph of the hereafter will communicate a whole library that was in this world. وَمَنْ كَانَ فِي هَذِهِ أَعْمَى فَهُوَ فِي الْآخِرَةِ أَعْمَى. Whoever was blind, Quran mache, whoever was blind in this world will be blind in the hereafter. وَأَضَلُّ سَبِيلًا. Even more worse off he'll be, even more misguided. So Ruman will come, Ruman the reminder angel will come, and he will say to this person, write down every deed you committed, every good and evil, everything you should have done but did not do. And Ruman will teach him how to write. And this person's memories will come forth. This person's memories will come forth. And it is as if he's reliving those scenes once again. Baddu and je spiritual memory je che, I baddu bare nikar se, and lakhu par se. And this activates the spiritual memory. So What was the answer to the question? Who activates the spiritual memory? Ruman, the angel, on the orders of Allah. Hawe, Ya Allah. This is very, very disturbing. Ek guftugu sharu thase. Ruman ne a marhum wache. Marhum ke say, I cannot remember everything. And I cannot mention everything. Some of the things I have done, I am ashamed to say. Some of the things I have done, I am ashamed. Ke hun tamara samay kevi ritna lakhwa badu. Ruman will say, you are ashamed of me. You are not ashamed of Rabbul Alameen. You are ashamed of me. When you are doing it, you are not ashamed of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Imagine. And then Ruman will say, I will make you recollect everything. You don't have a choice here. Here you will be made to recollect, and you will be made to bring forth all of those spiritual memories. Etla mate, we have a very, very important practice in Islam. Imam Musa Kazim alayhi salam says, Laysa minna man lam yuhasib nafsahu kulla yawm. He is not from us who doesn't account himself every day. So we have this thing called muhasaba. Muhasabatun nafs. Muhasaba of yourself. What does that mean? It means at the end of the day, whatever you have done in the day, you do an account. Go through your day. Sawarthi mein sukairu che, raat sudi. Before sleeping, you do this. Few minutes it takes. And you start to account. Okay. Anything you see which is good, ke main asaru kairu che. You thank Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. You say, Khudaya, this was your tawfiq. I thank you for this. Give me more tawfiq to do more good. Anything you have done bad, you say, Khudaya, I ask you for forgiveness. I ask you for forgiveness. Any mu'min or person you have wronged or oppressed or you have been unjust, you need to go and make that up to that person. Ya maafi mangi liyo, ya je cheez che itame somehow jubran kari liyo, you have to make up for that thing. So this person, so muhasaba is very, very important. Now, Ruman forces us to focus. The spiritual memory awakens. Every moment of our life, from life to death, will come before our eyes. And this is all recorded, not maybe in words, but in some kind of language. As I said, language is different in Barzakh and hereafter. Language is different. Now this forms a book. This forms a book. Again, not a physical book, but it forms a kind of book. Where will this book go? Anyone have any idea? Where will this book go? Yes. So what will happen is, the book will be put on that person, like a necklace. It will be put on that person. And then it will be absorbed into that person. It will become part of them. And Ruman will say, this is your book of existence, and it shall remain closed inside you until the day that God brings mankind forth from their graves. Meaning until the day of judgment, now you have a record. You had a record before anyway, because the two angels are writing anyway. Allah is watching anyway. But this is now your official, now barzakhi record, which has gone into your soul or yourself, to remain there until the day of judgment. God will bring forth mankind from their graves, and then the book shall be opened. So now, will this be terrifying or will it be exhilarating? Well, some people will find it exhilarating, because they'll say, I cannot wait to show my Lord my book. I've got so many good things in here, and I've achieved fuztu fawzan azima. I have achieved a great success. Some will be ashamed. They'll say, I don't want that day to come where I have to show Rabbul Alameen my book. Now Ruman departs from the grave. What happens next? It all depends on the amount of good deeds or bad deeds a person has. Either the grave will become a place of relief and peace, or it will become a place of dread. A good person, a mu'min, will find that after Ruman goes, another presence comes into the grave. And it will be a beautiful presence and a lovely presence, bringing peace and tranquility and sukoon. He will say, who are you? It will say, Ana amaluka salih. I am your good deeds. Hu tara nek amal chu. Allah will never leave a person who does good in this world. The thing is, don't outweigh your good with the bad. Otherwise, one will cancel the other, na'udhu billah. So it will say, Ana amaluka salih, I'm your good deeds. If the person has too many bad deeds, then the grave becomes a place of fear and dread. And if the grave is a place of fear and dread, another being will come in. But it will be a very evil, noxious, repulsive thing. Now let's come on to another section of the discussion, which is the questioning. The questioning of the grave. Let's have a salawat, please. Ala Muhammad wa ala Muhammad. Actually, let me pause for a moment and see if there are any questions, because I want this to become interactive. We've always had interaction from the first lecture until now. So are there any questions so far? Very good question. How long does... Yeah. How long? The question is, how long does the ruh stay with the body? So let me continue the discussion, and I think you'll get your answer. But in short, just to very shortly answer you, it depends on the person. As I said, I don't know if you were there in the first lecture. Many people are already semi-activated into barzakh. So they will be taken by angels straight away into Jannat of Barzakh maybe. But generally most people, they will hover around the ruh, and then they will go into the grave, and then the grave itself becomes their place of Barzakh. The grave doesn't mean the 6-foot cavity of the ground. That is not what we mean by grave. Grave, yes, in this world, when we say dig a grave, we mean a 6-foot cavity. But Barzakh ma eunati. Barzakh, when we say grave, it means your place in the hereafter. It could be a much different place. It doesn't mean it's a 6-foot cavity. Anything else before I continue? Yeah, if it's on what we've said so far.
My first question is, when does Imam Ali then come in the grave?
Subhanallah. When does Imam Ali alayhi salam come in the grave? Imam Ali alayhi salam, for a pure mu'min, good person, will come not in the grave, but at the time of taking the soul only. It depends how much link you have with Aimma, how much love you have with them, how much you have emulated them. It could be that Aimma comes straight away. Some hadiths say that when mu'min is in his last moments, Ahlul Bayt are around him. See, it depends. Badanu farak kare. Ji, second question.
Second question is, like you said, the beads will be put like a necklace around the neck. But I've also read
The book.
but I also read that if it's good deeds, it will be given in the right hand.
The question is very, very good question. We said that the deeds become a book and it's around the neck and then it gets absorbed. But then in the Quran we have Ashabul Yameen, Ashabul Shimal, Allahumma a'tini kitabi bi yamini wala. You know, we have those du'as, oh Allah, give me my book in my right hand, not in my left hand. This is on Qayamat. We are going to come to that. On Qayamat, again, things happen according to Allah's order. Okay. Now the questioning begins. Questioning of the grave. There are 3 groups. One is the extremely pure. They have very little questioning. Because the role of questioning is what? It is to categorize people. See, Allah has an amazing order and system. The questioning is really to categorize people. And there are 3 groups. One are the extremely pure. They are led straight to Barzakhi heaven, you can say. whatever their barzakhi heaven looks like, they are led straight there. They have very little questioning because it's very easy to categorize them. Shall I continue? Yeah. Okay. The first group is the very pure group. They are very easy to categorize them. The second group is the extremely evil group. Well, it's very easy to categorize them as well. So even they have very little questioning. Allahumma salli ala Muhammad wa ala Muhammad. Then there is the third group who had pure and impure mixed. They remain in a state of hope and despair until the day of judgment. They don't know, am I going to be qualified in the first group of the pure or the second group of the evil? So they remain in a despair and hope state until the day of judgment. The first two groups, as I said, they are questioned immediately. The last group is yet able, the first two groups are questioned immediately. The last group, when they are questioned, they're not able to certainly establish whether they are the pure or the evil. They have both, they have a mixture. For the impure group, let's discuss those now. For the impure group, that evil group if you like, it is a terrifying experience to face the questioning of the grave. They will be confronted by two angels of Allah, Munkar and Nakir. Munkar and Nakir will appear in a frightening form. Their voices will be like thunder. Their gaze and eyes will be like lightning. Why? Why? How can angels of God appear as terrifying or scary? Angels are beautiful creatures of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And jawab such hai, in this world, good things appeared bad to this person. When he looked at good things, he would consider it as something very worthless or evil. You tell him, come to mosque. What is mosque? Tell him, for example, namaz par. What is namaz? Tell him, for example, this, that, and he would, not look at good things in a positive way. So obviously in the hereafter now, the good things of Allah will appear vile to him. Now, what is the job of Munkar and Nakir? It is to evaluate. In the world, we have certain criteria. How to evaluate a person? We evaluate on wealth, clothes, કેવા ઘરમાં રહે છે, power, કેવી ગાડી ચલાવે છે, શું કામ છે, how much influence does he have, how much political power does he have, what kind of friends he has, social media, how much followers he has, for example. But Munkar and Nakir are not interested in this. That is not their criteria. So they will ask, who is your God? Who cannot answer this question? Even our kids can answer this question, but it's not like that, because now it depends on how much link you had with God that you'll be able to answer who is your God. How much link did you have with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala? If you didn't worship, you never put your head down in front of God, you were never humble in front of God, you were never obedient to God, then what answer will you give when they ask you who is your God? Na'udhu billah, maybe you will say, my money is my God. Maybe someone will say, my power is my God. Maybe someone will say, my izzat is my God. Maybe someone will say, my dawlat is my God. Because he never felt God was important in his life. He never felt Rasulullah was important, never felt Quran was important. They will ask him things like, what were your priorities in the world? How did you pass your time? How did you earn your living? How did you spend your wealth? They will force this person to expose the deepest features of his character, and they will force him to face the unpleasant truths of his character. You have to do this. એટલે હું કહું છું કે આ દુનિયામાં જ અમને કરવાનું છે. Don't leave it for the hereafter. Otherwise, you'll be forced to do it. Better you do it here with your free will than you leave it for the hereafter when you'll be forced. But now this person, when he answers them, he will lie. Because he was a liar in this world, even a liar to himself. So then he will lie there because je adat અહીંયા છે ઈ ત્યાં પણ જાહેર થશે. Every time he lies, every time he tries to justify, he is met with a fiery response. Please never ever think that these azab of qabr and these kind of things should not be discussed or it will scare our children. Please, let's not go down that route. Allah knows how to introduce His religion. Allah knows what He wants to say to us. Allah knows what is effective for us. So He will be met by a fiery response. In some reports it says it's a whip of fire that lashes across the face, turns the grave into a blazing inferno. Is this physical fire? Of course not. This is the best way we can interpret these things, because now he's under intense scrutiny. When someone scrutinizes you very, very intensely, you are disturbed. It's like you're on fire. You're burning. This is the kind of thing that we're saying, that there will be some kind of torment. But the language which we use is the only language which we know, which is like a fiery inferno of the grave. His worldly achievements, he will try to say, you know, mara pas atla bada paisa che, mara pas atla bada businesses che, mara pas atla bada makano che. They'll say, what are you talking about? I kai kam nathi avanu. He feels suffocation because now he's under intense scrutiny. Munkar and Nakir will press him to such an extent that he will feel, you know, the walls of the grave are closing in on him. Because he's from the evil group, he will be shown a window of hell that connects to his grave, and he will feel the heat of hell. In other words, he'll be in a very despairing position. Then something very sad happens. Eventually he will realize, I can't answer these people. What they are saying, I don't understand. They are telling me, Allah, Allah, I never had a relationship with Allah in the world, so I don't understand. This man will then turn his back on them. This is very, very sad. One of the most saddest things that I came across in this research. He will turn his back and he will say, I realize now I am not compatible with the mercy of God. When we say, you know, that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala removes mercy from a person, He doesn't remove mercy in the sense that He's arbitrarily saying, okay, this one is, I'll give mercy, this one I won't give mercy. It's not like that. We ourselves turn our back on the mercy of Allah. Then there is no option but for the mercy to be removed. He wants them to go away. He wants to get rid of the angels. He realizes his nature is more compatible with fire and punishment than with the mercy of Allah. And therefore he blocks out the grace of Allah and enters what we call barzakhi hell. Again, he realizes, he understands, because he never looked into these things, he never spent time on these things. He hurt people, he said jewuteu, he treated people badly, he was not good with people, he violated the laws of Allah, he disregarded the wajibat of Allah, he played around with the muharramat of Allah. So he realizes now that, oh, everything I did now, it's come back upon me. Ki in jahan ku hast wa fe'le ma nida, that this world is a mountain range and our deeds are like shouting in the mountain. What happens when you shout in the mountains? That awaj, suthai, fari fari ne pachu tamar pase ave, su ye ma ayad nidahara sida. Those words will come round and round and round and come back to you as a cacophony of noise. Ki in sukhan hai chumaru kajdumat. These words of yours, these are all Farsi poems, by the way. I'm very much into Farsi poetry. On sukhan hai chumaro kajdumat. Those words which you used to say in the world, which were like scorpions and snakes, maro kajdum gardad vagirad dumat. They will turn into real scorpions and snakes and bite you in the grave. Whatever you do, you'll have to answer for. Whatever you do, you'll have to give account for. So that person will actually block out the grace of Allah and enter the hell of barzakh. I think my time is done. We are now at 11:30. I think I'll stop here. The next discussion we are going to have will be regarding the pure souls, the other category. So I'll take questions if that's okay. Sallu ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad.
Sheikh Ismail, the next one, pure souls, when would it be? Appropriate one?
We don't know yet. I think it will be after the Maha Ramadan, inshallah. But I need to arrange suitable time and the day for Sheikh when he would be made available, inshallah. We'll try as soon as it is convenient and mutually convenient, inshallah. Any more questions from the floor?
The question is is everybody going to face Munkar and Nakir? Yes and no. They will face angels. Munkar and Nakir is the name we give to the angels who interrogate the evil ones. Then we have for the pure group, which I'm going to discuss next time, their angels will not be called Munkar and Nakir, they will be called Bashir and Mubashir. In other words, they will come with good tidings. Munkar and Nakir is the name we give to those angels who interrogate the evil ones. The good ones, neck people, will be questioned by Bashir and Mubashir, who are the givers of good tidings. Sorry? I didn't get you, sorry.
Where do you draw a line?
What do you mean by that?
He's mixed up, half and half.
Don't be in the half and half group. We want to be in the first group, the group which is going to be in the company of Amirul Mu'mineen.
So, Sheikh Abbas, sorry.
Makbul bhai.
Following on that now, Munkar and Nakir are for the evil ones. So who are we to judge when we are burying the person in our talqeen? We are reading Munkar and Nakir,
Yeah.
Bashir and Mubashir.
Yeah. Very good question. Who are we to judge in the talqeen? Why do we say Munkar and Nakir and not Bashir and Mubashir? These are general terms. These are just general terms. You can say that even the good ones are interrogated by Munkar and Nakir. That's a general term we use for all of the angels who interrogate in the grave. But in the finer points, they are referred to also as Bashir and Mubashir in the sense that they give good tidings, glad tidings. But as a general term, it's okay to say when Munkar and Nakir come, then answer them that Ali is my Mawla and Fatima is my Mawlati and Imam Hassan is my Mawla. It's fine. These are just general terms we use. We're not actually judging, okay, you're a bad man and you will get, Ji.
Or a marhum or marhumeen or all marhumeen at his or her time of demise. There's lots of du'as for the welfare of that marhum.
Yeah.
And lots is being said and prayed that may God forgive
Yeah.
his sins or her sins and all that. So my question is it of any assistance for that marhum during birth?
The question is that at the time of death of an individual, we recite many du'as and many Quran and many things, okay, oh Allah, forgive that person, help that person. Is it of any assistance? 100% yes. There's no doubt. Otherwise we won't have them. So 100% it is of assistance. However, what you have to realize is that we have other things to bear in mind, right? For example, what if someone does zulm on haqqun nas? Well, that cannot be forgiven except by the person who has been wronged. That's one thing you have to bear in mind. Number two, what if that person had certain qualities for which even the forgiveness will not be accepted? We do believe generally that forgiveness is accepted, but it's possible that that person closed the door of mercy of God upon themselves in the world and they will not be forgiven certain things. Yes, it's possible. Then we have, for example, that namaz. Namaz, if you took it lightly and you didn't pay attention to it and you have lots of qaza, for example, well, namaz in qubilat qubila ma siwaha wa in ruddat rudda ma siwaha. If it is accepted, everything is accepted. If it's not accepted, nothing is accepted. So what if the person was be-namazi? then it's again difficult. What if someone, for example, did ahanat, disrespect to the symbols of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala? What if someone did, Nawdu billah, I'm sure no one from what we know will do this. What if someone disrespected Quran, Maraji, ulama, mu'mineen? Well, that's a big sin you're taking with you in the hereafter. So I think it does have an effect, but you can't say that just because we pray for someone, badu maaf take you. It's not like that. Thank you. I think, is that we're done? Inshallah. Okay. Sallu ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad.
MashaAllah, that was a very, very useful talk. Alhamdulillah, thank you so much, Sheikh Abbas Ismail, for his time and effort. That was very enlightening. I think our deeds have to be accountable, good, bad, whatever it may be. Let's try to pray to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to keep us steadfast in this truth of Islam, inshallah. And I'm very, very pleased that Sheikh Abbas has given us a very useful, enlightening, and a very, very thought-provoking talk. Inshallah, this series is going to continue after the holy month of Mubarak Ramadan. And may Allah bless us in this holy month. Ilahi Amin, and we shall continue here thereafter, inshallah. Awesome. Jazakallah, thank. We'll now have a short briefing by Abbas, Abbas Ismail about the last course we attended at Koej, in Koej, and also over the volunteering course. Can we request him with a salawat, please? Allah.
Salawat. As you know, a couple of weeks ago there was a meeting of Koej, and all the seniors of executive were requested to attend. We have been represented, I represented the Stanmore, and other Jamaats also were represented. Now, Koej, because of the election, all the members have been changed, or they are changing, and they want to do a very good thing for all the Jamaats. Now they need your assistance. The thing is, they want to say what they can do for you, on what we can feed our information to them, what we want. For example, we said, okay, they were hearing from us before, but they said a lot of things needs to be done a little more. But their budget is not that much high. So they are going on a limited budget, but they will try to assist us. In this way, they said that we wanted them to be a hub. Hub means whatever we want. If, for example, we want a reciter. Now, small Jamaat, they don't have sometime reciter. We don't have to ask every Jamaat who is a reciter or anything. We just ask them, we need a reciter on this day, or we want something to go for outing or ziyarat or something. So that they will facilitate, but at the moment they don't have full-time staff because they don't have an office. There was an office, but it was closed. But Alhamdulillah, our Stanmore have given them a place at our Hayfield, an office, but it will slowly be activated. Now, the other thing is, for example, if one Jamaat wants to do like Haidari, wants to go outing, Tunisia, wherever, Morocco or Ziyarah. Now, they should not, they don't contact everybody. They just tell the coach that we are arranging anybody from any Jamaat who wants to go with them, they are pleased to. So now coach will tell every Jamaat that this project is coming up if anybody wants it. Now further on, and they also wants to help those who are difficulties in various ways, like seniors and all these things. But they are at the moment organizing themselves, and they had a 16 section or boards, what they call, or jamaats. Now they have reduced it to 9, and they have amalgamated so that duplication should not be there. Also, if there is any ideas or anything, you can always ask them. They are open to listening ears. So anything is needed, we can put forward to them. They are also supporting us for daycare or anything, care home, or for seniors. They are also looking into it, but they understand that there is sometimes old people, we are all going to pass through the same road. At the moment, the people who can't come because of transport, because of ill health, or because of this, we have to go to them and cheer them up, and they will be very much, and that is dua. And that is where just now our Sheikh has said that whatever you can give to your own people, that will be rewarded. And we will be in there. And we will also looking forward for people to come and look for us. So they will also support. They have suggested, or one of the Jamaat has suggested, why not make this center for other days, senior can come and be care of. Because the council gives the carer and they go to their places. Now the thing is, the council will be very glad if there is a center here and all people can come, or whoever, all or one, and can then have a quite nice time among themselves, and they can open up themselves. Okay. By becoming happiness, you are relieving their pain. Maybe not physically, but inside. So you have to see that one in future, that we will also be getting the same thing. And furthermore, they said that we have to have a teamwork as well as help them to how to improve themselves and what we need. And furthermore, because my time is very small, I would like also to suggest to them in a way that the World Federation is having trips to India. Now trips to India heritage tour, how they can help the seniors, those who haven't gone abroad, or they can go also financially, or some care they needed, and as well as when they go there, we shall be connected with our roots. And once we have connected our roots, the muhabbat and everything will be good, and it will help us to know other people how they are staying there. And not only that, in that way, it will help us, our children and others will be connected to each other with their children and that may help us in a big way. And there are a lot of other ideas, but they are now working on it. So many have been put on this. Thank you very much for listening, and I leave it to you all for big thought about it.
Thank you so much, Jazakallah Abbas, for that briefing from your last meeting at the College. Basically, they want to sort of centralize the activities of member Jamaats so that a joint decision could be taken in the future, whereby it's all linked via College. If any of the members would like further information, or they would like to play any role within the system, please see any of the committee members. Any sort of good ideas will be very welcome, inshallah. Can I now please request for the mu'mineen to raise their hands for Amma Yujibul, please. Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. Amma yujibul mustarra iza da'u wa yakshafu su. Amma yujibul mustarra iza da'u wa yakshafu su. أَمَّنْ يُجِيبُ الْمُضْطَرَّ إِذَا دَعَاهُ وَيَكْشِفُ السُّوءَ أَمَّنْ يُجِيبُ الْمُضْطَرَّ إِذَا دَعَاهُ وَيَكْشِفُ السُّوءَ أَمَّنْ يُجِيبُ الْمُضْطَرَّ إِذَا دَعَاهُ وَيَكْشِفُ السُّوءَ. Let's pray to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to bring about peace and harmony in this world and to alleviate the sufferings of the oppressed people all over the world and the war-torn zones around the world. And may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala accept our hajat and also give shafaat to all our sick people. Inshallah, they can recover from their ill health. Inshallah, please recite Surah Al-Fatiha. Alhamdulillah. May I now request Nazir by Virji to come and recite Surah Yasin for us. Please recite beautiful salawat. Allahumma salli ala Muhammadin wa ali Muhammad.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. ياسين والقرآن الحكيم إنك لمن المرسلين على صراط مستقيم تنزيل العزيز الرحيم لتنذر قوما ما أنذر آباؤهم فهم غافلون لقد حق القول على أكثرهم فهم لا يؤمنون إنا جعلنا في أعناقهم أغلالا فهي إلى الأذقان فهم مقمحون وجعلنا من بين أيديهم سدا ومن خلفهم سدا فأغشيناهم فهم لا يبصرون وسواء عليهم أأنذرتهم أم لم تنذرهم لا يؤمنون إنما تنذر من اتبع الذكر وخشي الرحمن بالغيب فبشره بمغفرة وأجر كريم إنا نحن نحيي الموتى ونكتب ما قدموا وآثارهم وكل شيء أحصيناه في إمام مبين واضرب له مثلا أصحاب القرية إذ جاء المرسلون إذ أرسلنا إليهم اثنين فكذبوهما فعززنا بثالث فقالوا إنا إليكم مرسلون قالوا ما أنتم بشر مثلنا وما أنزل الرحمن من شيء إن أنتم إلا تكذبون قالوا ربنا يعلم إنا إليكم مرسلون وما علينا إلا البلاغ المبين قالوا إنا تطيرنا بكم لئن لم تنتهوا لنرجمنكم وليسمنكم منا عذاب أليم قالوا طائركم معكم أئن ذكرتم بل أنتم قوم مسرفون وجاء من أقصى المدينة رجل يسعى قال يا قوم اتبعوا المرسلين اتبعوا من لا يسألكم أجرا وهم مهتدون وما لي لا أعبد الذي فطرني وإليه ترجعون أتخذوا من دونه آلهة إن يريد الرحمن بضر لا تغني عني شفاعتهم شيئا ولا ينقذون إني إذا لفي ضلال مبين إني آمنت بربكم فاسمعون قيل ادخل الجنة قال يا ليت قومي يعلمون بما غفر لي ربي وجعلني من المكرمين وما أنزلنا على قومه من بعدهم من جند من السماء وما كنا منزلين إن كانت إلا صيحة واحدة فإذا هم خامدون يا حسرة على العباد ما يأتيهم من رسول إلا كانوا به يستهزئون ألم يروا كما أهلكنا قبلهم من القرون أنهم إليهم يرجعون وإن كل لما جميع لدينا محضرون وآية لهم الأرض ميتة أحييناها وأخرجنا منها حبا فمنه يأكلون وجعلنا فيها جنات من نخيل وأعناب وفجرنا فيها من العيون ليأكلوا من ثمره وما عملته أيديهم أفلا يشكرون سبحان الذي خلق أزواج كلها مما تنبت الأرض ومن أنفسهم ومما لا يعلمون وآية لهم الليل نسلك منه النهار فإذا هم مسلمون والشمس تجري لمستقر لها ذلك تقدير العزيز العليم والقمر قدرناه منازل حتى عاد كالعرجون القديم لا الشمس ينبغي لها أن تدرك القمر والليل سابق النهار وكل في فلك يسبحون وآية لهم أن حملنا ذريتهم في الفلك المشحون وخلقنا لهم من مثله ما يركبون وإن نشأ نغرقهم فلا صريخ لهم ولا هم ينقذون إلا رحمة متاعا إله وإذا قيل له متقوا ما بين أيديكم وما خلفه لعلكم ترحمون وما تأتيهم من آيات ربهم إلا كانوا عنها معرضين وإذا قيل لهم أنفقوا مما رزقكم الله قال الذين كفروا للذين آمنوا أن تؤمنوا من لو يشاء الله أطعمه إن أنتم إلا في ضلال مبين ويقولون متى هذا الوعد إن كنتم صادقين ما ينظرون إلا صيحة واحدة تأخذهم وهم خصيم مبين لا يستطيعون تفسيرهم ولا إلى أهلهم يرجعون ونفخ في الصور فإذا هم من الأجداث إلى ربهم ينسلون قالوا يا ويلنا ما بسنا من مركدنا هذا ما وعد الرحمن وصدق المرسلون إن كانت إلا صيحة واحدة فإذا هم جميع لدينا محضرون فاليوم لا تظلم نفس شيء ولا تجزون إلى ما كنتم تعملون إن أصحاب الجنة اليوم في شغل فاكهون أزواجهم في ظلال على الأرائك متكئون لهم فيها فاكهة لهم ما يدعون سلام قولا من رب رحيم وامتازوا اليوم أيها المجرمون ألم أعهد إليكم يا بني آدم أن لا تعبدوا الشيطان إنه لكم عدو مبين وأن اعبدوني هذا صراط مستقيم ولقد أضل منكم جبيلا كثيرا أفلم تكونوا تعقلون هذه جهنم التي كنتم توعدون اصلاها اليوم بما كنتم تكفرون اليوم نختم إلى أفواههم وتكلمنا أيديهم وتشهد أرجلهم بما كانوا يكسبون ولو نشاء لمسكنا على أعينهم فاستبقوا الصراط فأنى يبصرون ولو نشاء لمسكناه على مكانتهم فما استطاعوا مزيهم ولا يرجعون ومن نؤمره ننكس في الخلق أفلا يعقلون وما علمناه شرعا وما ينبغي له إن هو إلا الذكر وقرآن مبين لينذر من كان حيا ويحق القول على الكافرين أولم يروا أنا خلقنا لهم مما عملت أيدينا أنعاما فهم لها مالكون وذللناها لهم فمنها ركوبهم ومنها يأكلون ولهم فيها منافع ومشارب فلا يشكرون واتخذوا من دونه آلهة لعلهم ينصرون لا يستطيعون نصرهم وهم لهم جند مهزرون فلا يحزنك قولهم إنا نعلم ما يسرون وما يعلنون أولم يرى الإنسان أنا خلقناه من نطفة فإذا هو خصيم مبين وضرب لنا مثلا ونسي خلقه قال ما يحيي العظام وهي رميم قل يحيي الذي أنشأها أول مرة وهو بكل خلق عليم الذي جعل لكم من الشجر الأخضر نارا فإذا أنتم منه توقدون أوليس الذي خلق السماوات بقادر على أن يخلق مثله بلى وهو الخلاق العليم إنما أمره إذا أراد شيئا أن يقول له كن فيكون فسبحان الذي بيده ملكوت كل شيء وإليه ترجعون صدق الله العلي العظيم سورة الفاتحة صلى الله على محمد
Jazakallah Nazir Bhai for the beautiful recitation of the Holy Quran, the Surah Yasin. May I request Mu'minin to recite Surah Al-Fatiha for the sponsor of the Niyaz for today's lunch and for all marhumins, and especially for those Mu'minin or Mu'minat whose might be the first night in the grave. Surah Al-Fatiha. Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alameen. Malik Yawm Ad-Din. Iyyaka na'budu wa iyyaka nasta'in. Please rise for ziyarah, please. Thank you. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alayka ya Aba Abdullah. Assalamu alayka ya ibna Rasulullah. Assalamu alayka ya ibna Amir al-Mu'minin wa ibna Sayyid al-Wasiyin. Assalamu alayka ya ibna Fatimah al-Zahra Sayyidati Nisa'il Alameen. Assalamu alaykum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Assalamu alayka ya Mawla ya ibna Mawla. Assalamu alayka ya Gharib al-Ghuraba. Assalamu alayki ya Sultan ya Abul Hasan Ali ibn Musa Raza kun shafi'ana wa shafi'a walidina fi yawm al-jaza. Assalamu alayka wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Assalamu alayka ya sahib al-zaman. Assalamu alayka ya khalifat al-Rahman. Assalamu alayka ya sharik al-Quran. Assalamu alayka ya Maulana sahib al-asr wa zaman ya ibn Zahra alayhi salam. ورحمة الله وبركاته. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. اللهم كن لوليك الحجة ابن الحسن صلواتك عليه وعلى آبائه في هذه الساعة وفي كل ساعة وليا وحافظا وقائدا وناصرا ودليلا وعينا حتى تسكنه أرزق طوءا وتمتع فيها طويلا برحمتك يا